It's been 2 weeks with this phone and it's been nothing but amazing. This phone has been doing so well when it comes to day-to-day use and the camera, but now for the most important feature of this phone, it is a gaming phone, so it's time to test the games. We're gonna test some high demanding Android games, and also we're gonna look at some emulators to see how far we can push this phone and what's the best frame rate we can get for each game. So here are the games we're gonna try today. The device has been preheated. I've played some Call of Duty Warzone sessions to make sure it's at a high temperature. Then we're gonna start with the list from the left, so we start with Genshin Impact. Our goal here is to get the best frame rate and the best settings possible at the same time. So here is Genshin Impact now running. Just to note that we are running the Rise mode here for the GPU and the CPU. It's usually on the balance, but the Rise mode will get you the most you can get from the REDMAGIC 10 Pro. As you can see here, the game is running at the highest details possible. So this is the highest settings the game has supported. And then we have our frame rate up there. As you can see here, we have stable 60 frames per second. So as you can see here, the game looks fantastic. 60 frames per second is stable with the highest settings possible for this game. Alright, the next game we have here is Call of Duty Mobile. Of course, we're gonna run it at the highest settings and the highest frame rates. So here are the graphic settings to get the highest frame rate for Call of Duty Mobile. As you can see here, we have it on the medium and 120 FPS. If we put it to the high, then this will disappear. That means the game will run at 60 FPS. So we're gonna keep it at medium, then we're gonna have the highest frame rates possible for this game. So as you can see, the game is running now at 120 FPS stable. It's 121, I don't know why, but the game is really smooth, as you can see, and I did not see any hiccups with the frame rate. I've not played this game before, so as you can see, we are literally at the tutorial, but the game runs really well. Next game we have is PUBG Mobile. So as you can see here, for PUBG you cannot get any frame rate settings unless you go to the smooth settings here. Then you can go to the ultra extreme FPS. Then you have the FPS slider available there, as you can see, and then we're gonna run the game at 120 FPS and let's see how it does. Alright, we have landed, as you can see, and we have the smooth graphics running with 120 FPS, very stable. As you can see here, I did not see it move whatsoever. I did not play this game, that's why my character is naked, but as you can see, the game is really smooth. If this device can handle higher demanding games than PUBG Mobile, so it's gonna handle PUBG Mobile quite well. So now we have kind of the elephant in the room. Warzone Mobile has been a plague for so many mobile phones and so many people have been struggling to run it. Let's see how it does on this device, if it can keep a stable frame rate, and then we'll decide if this phone is worthy of being the gaming champ. So here are the graphics we're gonna run with right now. So as you can see, we have the peak graphics, which are the most demanding graphics for Warzone Mobile, and then we have our frame rate as uncapped, and then we have everything the highest possible setting for. Let's go ahead and try Warzone Mobile. Alright, here we are now landing at Warzone Mobile, playing the resurgence mode at the highest settings possible and the highest frame rates possible. As you can see here, we just landed and we have our frame rate showing 104, 105 FPS, sometimes raising all the way to 120. But let's run around. As you can see, we can see some dips in the frame rates. It's not so stable. As you can see, these settings have been very hard for other devices to mimic. So many devices have been struggling with this, but the phone is getting noticeably hot, to be honest, even though the fan is running at the full speed. As you can see here, our fan is running full speed, but we are still getting the phone getting a bit hot, and the frame rate has dipped to 83 to sometimes 70 frames per second, or sometimes we're going all the way to 90. I don't know, it's not very stable. This game is not so optimized, but probably this is the best way to play it right now. This phone is handling it very well. If we reduce the graphics into, oh, I'm getting killed here, let's see. Okay, I got the kill. Oh shit, it's a bot. As you can see, it's full of bots as well. The game is now plagued with bots for some reason. But as you can see here, the game is running really well. And if we drop the settings to high settings, probably is going to be even better. And now we have Fortnite Mobile. This game is not as popular now on mobile due to the game not being on Play Store. But let's see how this game does on the REDMAGIC 10 Pro. So here are the settings we have available for us, and we're gonna run at 90 frames per second. Hopefully the game could do that. Then we have the epic settings. The resolution is set to the maximum and everything else is set to the maximum. Let's see how it does in the battle royale game. Alright, now we have landed at Fortnite. As you can see here, the game is still running at 60 frames per second. It is quite stable, it does not go down. I haven't seen it going down so much, but it's 60 frames, it's not 90 frames. Even when I lower the settings, we still get 60 frames per second. It's better to play at the highest settings possible and get 60 frames per second. The game does look gorgeous, to be honest. I haven't played this game for a while. As you can see, I'm rocking my Galaxy skin from the Galaxy Note 9 if I remember. But yeah, the game looks really nice, and it runs really smoothly, but it is capped at 60 frames per second. Alright, it's now time to start with some emulators. The first emulator we're going to start here is the PS2 emulator, being the least demanding one out of the bunch. Alright, here we have Naruto is running on the PS2 emulator. We're going to see how much frame rate it gives us. We have the frame rate here uncapped, and we have the resolution at 5 times the resolution of the PS2. Alright, we have Naruto now running on the PS2 emulator on the REDMAGIC 10 Pro. Let's see how the frame rate does. I have not played this game in a while, and I'll get destroyed if I play it. But let's see at the frame rate here. At the top we have 60 frames per second, as you can see, sometimes dipping all the way to 47 when there's a lot of action, but the game does really well. It looks fantastic at the 5x resolution of the PS2. It looks like a new game, to be honest, but yeah, that's how it does on the REDMAGIC 10 Pro. Let's go to the next one. The next emulator we have is the PS Vita. I did struggle with this one, to be honest, because it does not run quite well. Sometimes it freezes, sometimes you get graphic issues, but we're gonna run it either way to show you how it does on this phone. So as you can see here, we have it running. We have Uncharted installed here. Let's start this game and then we'll see how it does. Alright, here is the game now running at the emulator for the PS Vita on the REDMAGIC 10 Pro. But the game is capped at 30 FPS. Whatever we do, even if we remove the cap from the settings, the game still is capped at 30 FPS. There is no way to change it. The game does look gorgeous. It is the same resolution as the PS Vita, so we did not change that because that does drop the frame rate quite a bit. So we do have it running the same as the PS Vita, as you can see here, and we have 30 frames per second. And now for the big one, we have the Nintendo Switch emulator. We have this one here, but we are not sure how it does because so many games we downloaded do not work. So Zelda did not work here, Super Mario Odyssey did not work. It depends on the drivers. I think the drivers for this device are quite new, but Super Smash Bros does work perfectly. So we're gonna try this game and show you the frame rates for it. Alright, so game is now running. This is running at the resolution of the Nintendo Switch at a handheld mode, so this is probably 720p. So we're gonna see how it does on this device. Alright, so here is the game running. As you can see here on my emulator for the Nintendo Switch, there is some drops in the frame rates. The game does run quite well sometimes, but sometimes there are some drops in the frame rates when there is a lot of stuff happening. But at the moment we are running at 60 frames per second to 55. Sometimes it does drop all the way to 30 when there is a lot of stuff happening, but the moment is running quite well. This is Super Smash Bros running on the REDMAGIC 10 Pro. Alright, so here we have concluded the gaming test for the REDMAGIC 10 Pro, and I gotta say it did really well. It's one of the best, if not the best gaming phone out there. I gotta say I love the new RGB at the light. As you can see here, we have one here, one there, and we have the fan, and also at the top we have ones here. So it looks really nice. The phone design is amazing. The front screen is fantastic for gaming, and if you want to get this device, I left an affiliate link for it in the description below. If you have any questions about the REDMAGIC 10 Pro, please leave a comment and I'll do my best to reply to you. This was Ali from TA Tech. I hope you enjoyed our video and see you again in the next one.